Do you actually care about it changing seasons, or are you very indifferent to that stuff?
Nah, I don't really care. The only thing I care about is because I'm so fat, it keeps me from sweating when it's cold. So.
Okay, that's something.
Yeah,
So life changes just a little bit for you.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a different person in the fall. I feel like my layers come out and I'm able to, tap into the drinks. You know what I mean? Like the pumpkin spice, little coffees and all the cute stuff. Able to bust out some candles that I couldn't all summer.
See, I don't do cute too much. I'm more of like.
Oh, I love the cute.
The same thing all year long. Same 2 drinks.
So you'd light a pine candle in the middle of June?
If I had a candle.
A pine?
If I had a smell I just liked, yeah.
Like a vanilla pumpkin chai latte candle?
Do you like change deodorants based on the season?
No. Deodorant, I keep it fresh. Very neutral. Very fresh.
I have
neutral.
the same deodorant every year. Every month. Every year.
Yeah. No, I would too. But candles to me are a little different. Candles set me up, It helps me get my vibe. Like middle of July, I'd probably have a ocean breeze burning.
I feel like that's some like kind of new age.
Maybe it is.
Kind of thing. That's
yeah,
scary. That's
July.
Like some witchcraft or something.
No. It's just it gets me feeling like I'm in the like in the tropicals or something like that in the middle of July.
It only messes with your feelings. It's not like
right.
It's not that big a deal.
Right. But like maybe springtime, I've got like a airy rainforest. You know what I mean? Like the Amazon candle. You know what I mean? Where like if you get to a certain point in the wax, it sounds like a toucan making a little sound. Like it crackles.
What?
Yeah. And then maybe January. Maybe January I have that's when December, January is pine all day. Yeah.
I looked at candles on Amazon, and the only ones I was interested in was like the leather smells, like the manly candles.
Yeah, I like those too. Yeah, those are good. Like the rustic.
Mm-hmm. It's called manly, so all you feminists out there, leave me alone.
Yeah, but it's like a wooden. It's like if you put a leather wallet and left it in a tree for like a couple years. That's probably what it'd smell like.
Yeah, but I don't want to pay $20 for a candle. So
I'd pay $50.
I just use our air wicks we get at the office.
Yeah, I think candles are a quality investment. IMO.
I believe it. I don't know. I go to Marshall's if I really want to win that bad.
Yeah, I need to get some more. So Marshall's is probably a good place to go after this podcast.
We're not sponsored by Marshall's, though, unfortunately.
That'd be lit. The day that we do get a sponsor, it's going to be fun. Because those people that are sponsored that always do like the really generic plugs, and then the ones that you actually like, some actually try, and they do like the random, like really intuitive and kind of like detailed, like they really plan for it and they really enjoy the sponsor.
The ad like in the middle of the YouTube video.
Right.
Yeah.
But you don't even realize it's an ad. They just kept talking and you're like, wait, we're talking about like shaving products right now.
Yeah. There's a couple like that I watch out there. I see. I think I would love to be sponsored by Evangelical Bible.
Okay.
That's where I order all my Bibles from.
That's a website?
Yeah.
Okay. Do they have stores? Or is it just an online website?
Yeah, it's just straight up online e-commerce.
Nice.
Yeah. They got like goat skin, calf skin.
Do they have like a customization feature where you can take it, how like Nike has like the Nike ID and you can see your shoe real time? Can you see your Bible real time being customized?
You can what they call emboss or engrave on it, but there's no like color changes. It's more like putting your name on there. Now, you do have like people who are custom binders who can take like your Bible that you currently have and then
custom binder is a person, or is that a
like custom?
That's a role.
They rebind your Bible.
Okay.
With different like leathers, so anything from like your typical like top grain cowhide to like ostrich.
Right.
So there's like they can do anything with it, which
Right.
I've had that done before. I think for a gift for Pastor a couple years ago, I got it his Bible rebound, but now that one's out of commission. So he got a couple from Evangelical Bible. You got the hook up.
Oh yeah, you got him some more
Yeah, Skylar.
that he's using now.
Yeah,
That's sick.
got a Skylar
Skylar?
NKJV.
What's
personal
Skylar?
size. Skylar is like the brand.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it was that deep. I didn't know
Yeah.
it rolled that deep.
Skylar,
I thought it was all like the Jesus brand. You know what I mean?
No.
Like I didn't know it had like some popular manufacturers.
Yeah, so there's like Skylar, R.L. Allen.
Wow.
Those are two of the bigger ones.
Now, do each of the different Bible manufacturers have their own translation preference?
R.L. Allen is typically
Like-
KJV because that's like the classic.
Right.
But they do have other ones. A lot of binders though will typically have like one at least made from.
That's like their main
version.
one.
Like they
Right.
have one, like they'll make one for each version usually, but a lot of them will do like New American Standard or KJV. That'll
Wow.
be like but everyone like in KJV, what Pastor uses,
Mhm.
there'll be a few different manufacturers who use that. And Nelson's that's like the one that's like middle of the road, but they're
Okay.
starting to make some really good stuff.
Right.
That's what Pastor Tony has.
It's like the Target for clothing. It's like not really nice clothing. Like it's not fancy or anything, but it's like a little bit more than Walmart.
Yeah, it's better quality than Walmart.
A little bit better quality, but not too crazy.
Yeah.
And it's like fashionable.
Yeah, they have like a custom now that they do with it's like a premium series.
Right.
And so they do a goat skin, but it's not as expensive. So Pastor Tony has that one. I really like it.
There's a whole world that I didn't know existed, really.
It's crazy.
Wow.
There's a ton of stuff out there.
Now, with each of those Bible translation or Bible manufacturers, do you think that they have preferential treatment to the translations? Like, do you think that if someone requests an NIV, they're like, I don't really like NIV, so we're gonna make this one a little bit worse?
No, I think at the end of the day they're a business, so
Yeah, I guess.
they're not like these like Skylar. They're not custom, so they're going to be making like 250 Bibles to
Right.
sell.
Right.
So they try their best to make it look elegant.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
I'd
not,
imagine that
it's
makes
not like
sense.
somebody's like, oh, I hate this version, so
Right.
I'm gonna. Now that could happen when you're like rebinders, like the people who like take your.
Oh yeah.
There could be a KJV
Yeah.
only guy who's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I could see
I'm
that.
gonna screw this Bible up so I
Right.
can never use it again.
Yeah. Like what would be that version? Like what's the Outcast version? The Message version or something?
Yeah, probably like the Message.
Yeah. Like amplified or something?
More Message.
Yeah.
Amplified at least you could try to, fancy it up. But
Right.
the Message is straight up like casual talk.
Yeah, they don't like the Message, huh?
Yeah. But the Message is cool. I don't got anything against any translation. I
Me
think
too.
all of them can be used in some way, shape, or form.
I agree, man. Yeah, I love this. I love learning about all that. Very interesting.
It's one of my things close to my heart.
Yeah, I can tell, man. This is honestly one of the most passionate conversations I've had with you.
Oh, so bad.
So obviously we don't have Pastor on the podcast today. We're back in action though, back rolling. Feels more intimate. I feel like
Candle.
yeah, we have a little candle here for anybody that can't see it. But it's just me and Johnny, and we're, looking each other in the face, talking about, translations and custom binders and things of that nature. And, behind us, if you can't see, we have some shoebox, some Operation Christmas child shoe boxes behind us. A cool little nifty little outreach thing that we have going on here. If you do come to the church, you definitely check it out. But yeah, today we're just going to dive into some casual conversation. It's fall and things change in fall. But of course we got to get it started with the LWAC. You have any LWAC, man?
LWAC. Man. This was Pastor's first week back preaching.
Pastor came back. Yeah.
So that was I mean, it was a highlight for sure just to have him in the pulpit for an extended amount of time. He kind of played around a little bit last week.
Yeah.
Kind of tickled the ears of the people a little bit last week, but
Right.
he was in there full time this Sunday, and so we got him back, and it was good to hear him, from the 8 a.m., the 9, the 11, just get back into it. So it was good to see him.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The energy felt different for sure. I remember we had incredible baptisms this past weekend.
Yeah.
That was super cool.
7.
Yeah, we had 7, and it was awesome. I remember there was one part of I don't know what it was in the message, but he was talking about the like how culture has kind of got to a place where people aren't, it's an interesting thing to dive into, how people are afraid to reach out and share their story or proclaim the gospel because of the shame, where it's like almost people are not too real now, but it's like you're so aware of your stuff, whereas before people used to, it was like hide it, like that was the goal, is to just hide all your mess.
Yeah.
And now it's like everybody's mess is out there, but that equals like everybody feels like they're unqualified to share.
Right.
And I was like, man, that's a good thing. And over the week, people have been sharing their stories. That's been super cool to see.
Yeah.
I haven't shared mine yet because I look back and I'm like writing it, and it's been in text for 3 days now, and I was that guy in high school that would turn in an essay 3 weeks late because I would rather get a really bad score than have the teacher write something that I didn't feel like was up to par.
That's so poetic. I was the opposite. I turned it
Yeah.
in. Like if I was like, this is gonna be good enough to give me like a passing grade, I'm just turning it in.
Yeah. And I knew those kids, and I would try to be really close friends with them because I felt like if our minds came together, we could really do something for the world.
Yeah, I have always been able to do stuff like that, like just turn it in and get by. But if I sat down and really put some energy in it, like our like sacred season's coming up,
Right.
and so like we got we're gonna be writing into
Some devos.
Yeah, we're gonna be writing some devos. I've already been like, okay, processing now because I really want to put in some good effort instead of just pulling out something. Like I could pull something out the day that's due, and nobody would probably be able to tell the difference. But I really want to put some deep thought into it because I really feel like it could be something powerful if I did. So
Yeah.
there's two different sides to me in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I would be like the one that like has something now that's like this, okay, this is good, let's keep going. And then like in a month it'll be like how about this, right? And then it'll kind of like be scrapped. And then it would be like okay, I'm spending way too much time on this little thing.
Yeah.
It's like 300 characters, and it's like you're spending a week just meddling on it.
Yeah. I'm a conceptual thinker. Like I have so many great concepts, but I hate like putting forth the effort,
like the execution
to like making it click and to make everyone else around me see the big idea behind it, and how impactful it really is, rather than me knowing how impactful it is and communicating that. It's tough sometimes.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I think that there's a healthy level to that, which is like a good thing to be aware of. But then it's like you definitely the extreme of it is like you just get really overwhelmed with the like, I don't know how to take this to the next place.
That's like the big impact is practically sermon prep.
Right.
Like I have 20 sermon ideas.
Right.
But only maybe one will stick. And even like going in sometimes to Sunday morning, I'm like, is anybody going to understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, is this a thing? Like, or do I need to do a new sermon like right now?
Yeah. Yeah, and I imagine for people in general when they're putting something together, that whole process of what you have to go through to go from initial thought to this is being executed. I feel like all of the different versions of it. I'm very curious to see what the frustrations are inside of it, right? Because my whole thing is I'll do that, but and then I'll try to do the whole like take the 10 different ones that are very different and see if I can just connect the dots, you know.
Right.
And sometimes that doesn't work at all, and sometimes it's like, hey, this is way cooler than what I thought it would be, you know. So question about the fall season, this whole time that we're about to go into as a church, you know, tentatively in a couple weeks, you know, getting our really getting our foot in and starting everything at the church. You know, whatever time that ends up happening, life kind of changes, right?
Just a little bit.
So, so what are your what are you excited about? What are you like preparing your life for? That's like for instance, I'm preparing to have a futon in my office,
Which I think is awesome.
yeah, and there's a shower there, and so it's gonna be very convenient to take a late night and just turn it into, you know, this work continues. So
Yeah, there's something like to be said for that person who, like in churchdom, like in the church world, like who is totally okay with spending every day, every waking hour doing something at the church. There's something like to a lot of people that seems so weird and so messed up and so like so you misprioritize
yeah, it's like the thought of like balance
yeah,
and yeah, I think to some extent it's like,
but
yeah, that should be something that you find at some points.
but
But
in
then
this
it's like some
season,
points, yeah, it's
in
like
the season it's like, what are you going, like, what you gonna tell me I need to work my 8 hours and go home, and you know, like, no, like, this is an intense time,
yeah,
and we've got like, it's I would me and luckily my wife is on the same train as I am as far as ministry goes, but like there's going to be a lot of great things happening and things that need to get done, and there's for me not a better way to spend time than to be at the church and to be hanging out with, not that all we do is hang out at the church, but to be sharing like these. There's going to be some awesome moments that happen in these next few weeks because of how busy we're going to be. And I think the amount of time we're going to invest here shortly is going to be a lot, and at times can seem like it's overwhelming, but it's so worth it. And
yeah,
you know, like, it's just there's no, I've never done this before. This is something completely new for me, so I'm excited to be going to something that's uncharted waters for me and Christy, and you know, and even for our church. You know, this is something completely new.
yeah. Yeah, I think that there's gonna be a whole lot of the balance. You know, there's gonna be a lot of people that I imagine are figuring out that balance, and that's gonna be an interesting thing for everybody individually.
Yeah.
You know, I think for us, since we're on staff, it's kind of like we're accepting but it's very exciting. You know, I feel like I grew up in a lot of like rapid, like we moved all the time growing up, and so it's kind of, it feels like at home, like moving and like having to get things done quickly in a short amount of time feels very like natural, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a part of that kind of, not that we're not doing it with order, but there's a part of the chaos, you know, the chaos of like all of this that needs to
Yeah.
be done.
I like that.
It's kind of exciting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's kind of exciting, and it's kind of like all right, seeing things get done, like seeing something that was like, man, that was a mess, and like, oh dang, like, you know, you see it a week later and you're like, man, they crushed that. Like,
Yeah.
we're flying through this thing.
2 weeks, 10 years from now, we're going to be like, yo, you remember that time that we moved to this this church that had 2,000 seats, and
Yeah, bro. I imagine there's gonna be a lot of those stories that we tell from.
Phil almost fell off the ladder.
Right. Yeah. Remember that
'Cause he
time
was
that
so
we
tired.
we got through like a case of Red Bull in like 2 hours,
Yeah.
each, something like. There's gonna be a lot of that stuff that I'm foreseeing for sure.
And then the moment may seem miserable, but
Right.
it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, and I think that's a part of it too, right? I mean, you look at people that give of their time that aren't paid staff members, and it's like it's really cool that church is that place to where what happens here is so eternal and so life-changing that people that aren't working, like don't get paid, have a full life, have families, have everything, that they give their time, especially in a time like this where it's going to be in the next couple weeks where a lot of people are going to be giving their time. It's going to be like, it's cool, that people come together, and it's kind of like knowing that this is like, man, I want to fight for this place. Like,
Yeah.
I want to be here. I want to sacrifice my time for this place. Like, it's kind of a team building. Like, I remember one time in the youth building, when we were kind of putting it together a couple years ago. I wasn't working here or anything, but we were laying down flooring, and we didn't get done until probably 1 a.m., 2 a.m. as a team. And it was funny because after that, like, we didn't all go home. We went to cookout and just sat there for another couple hours. And they had to actually kick us out because we were there too late. But
That's wild.
yeah, so we just sat there like the whole time, and it was like, none of us were like, we weren't like thinking to ourselves like, man, this was, why would you ask me to stay out? It was literally like, man, we just, like, there's a lot of dumb stories that came from the conversations of just being with each other, laying flooring till like 3 a.m. and then going to cookout afterwards. You know what I mean? So that's the exciting part, that we're about to get to that place. And then like the expectation after that, knowing that, last night at prayer, those incredible, powerful moments that Pastor was praying over, what it's going to be like for the Holy Spirit to be residing in that sanctuary at the new place, and knowing that there's going to be people that come in that are expecting to just sit there, that are going to be really touched, and their life is going to change because of just the real move of the Holy Spirit that's going to happen.
Straight up bonkers.
Yeah, and so thinking about that, and knowing that everything that we're doing, everything that we're going to be doing is going towards that happening, is going towards like that being possible. And so that part, like all of that kind of built up, the excitement of the chaos, the excitement of the, like, what's following after that, all the stories that are going to happen within this time period. It's super exciting. And then also it's like, it's fall, To me, it's like the best time for this to happen would be fall, just because I feel like I'm, able to light a candle after a long day of work.
Makes you less tired because you don't sweat as much.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Maybe. I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
Maybe if you're outside.
Yeah. I don't know how
It's
much
colder.
I'll probably be outside a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know how much I'll be outside, but, we'll see.
We'll see. I'm sure at some point we will be.
Yeah. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of things that bring the squad. The cool thing is gonna be too is looking at the body of like, I know we talk about how we've never had all the services in one, but just looking at the body of people like that as like a squad, it's kind of like an army. Looking at that army of people all together, just in general, like seeing all of that together is gonna, like, there's probably gonna be a feeling there that we don't really know what it's gonna feel like, but it's gonna be, I was talking to somebody yesterday and they were like, oh yeah, I don't see that person because I go to this service. And I know we mention that sometimes, but I really do forget that there's a lot of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the, I don't see this person because I go to this service thing. Yeah. So that part, we've talked about that. Probably one of the most things that we've talked about is that dynamic of it. But
and we got trunk or treat coming up.
Yeah, like times like trunk or treat. Trunk or treat.
It's a big part of our fall.
It's fall, man. I'm telling you, fall is different.
You know what your outfit's gonna be yet?
Yeah. So the youth is doing. Well, this is spoiler alert. If you like to come to trunk or treat and you don't like to know what people are wearing, cover your ears. But youth is doing Noah's Ark.
Okay.
So I'll be Noah, but I'm doing a little Dr. Diggory as Noah. so it's gonna be like a costume within a costume, if you get what I'm saying.
That's hilarious.
Like a little trunk or treat inception. You know what I mean?
That'll be funny.
So it'll be Dr. Diggory dressed up as Noah. Yeah. And we'll have a couple giraffes. You know, their heads will be sticking out of the window of the cars. So that's about as far as we've gotten. But we're pumped.
Jeez.
And you guys, I think I know what you guys are doing, but
so we do like we try to be punny every year.
right, got to.
This year's not as much. We're doing a song from KP. They do this at the end where it's like, you know, goodbye, see you later, let me see your alligator, and then they snap at the end. So me and Christy are dressing up as alligators.
Nice.
Like this like cartoonish costume.
You got them already?
Yeah.
Have you tried them on?
I have not. I don't even
Oh,
want to put it
are they
on
at the
yet.
house though?
Yeah, they're at the house.
Oh, you got to take a picture, man.
And then we're putting hands, I think, on the alligator.
Nice.
So it's still a play on words, but
Right.
I don't know if we're gonna like be playing the song the whole time. It'd probably get a little annoying, but
No, you got to play the song the whole time for sure. Because as kids come by the car, they want to do the song.
yeah, I just hope a kid doesn't get too scared. That would be.
Like you're an alligator.
Yeah.
Is it intense costumes?
I don't think so.
Are they? Are they different? Are you and Christy's different, or are they the
We're
same?
about the same.
You're the same.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah. So it'll be kind of like twinning it out.
Yeah.
I can think of like every costume we did since we've been married. It's been like
What's like the most recognizable? Like, what's the one you look back on and you're like, yeah, dude, we crushed it that year.
we did the Minions one year.
Okay, that's solid.
And I look
Yeah.
like you can go back, I think, to Christy's Instagram, and I look
So what approach did you take though? Did you take like the Minion costume? Did you paint?
straight up Minion costume, and we had like the goggles on and everything.
Nice.
It was so bad.
Yeah, I respect that.
It was so bad, and then we yeah, it was hot outside because it's South Carolina.
Yep.
So it was like you're sweating so bad.
Yeah, low-key miserable.
In like what's supposed to be cool weather.
Right.
We did Dunkin' Donuts one year. So we
Okay.
wore donuts around us and acted like basketball players. We had
Yeah.
like sweatbands on and stuff. That was a pretty cool one. I think last year we did kickboxing. Something like
Kickboxing?
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
How
Or
did you-
shark bite. They're starting to mix up a little bit, but
How did you do kickboxing?
actually I think it was fruit punch.
Oh, okay.
I think it was fruit
yeah,
punch.
yeah, fruit punch.
Yeah, so Christy
So one of you were a fruit, the other one was a
like
punch.
a boxer. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I like that
pun
one.
there.
I like that. I think the most memorable one last year I did LeBron. That was pretty solid. LeBron James. So every year, trunk or treat though, me and Zach Nobles. Have I told you about this ever? Or I'm sure you know.
I think
Or
I've
heard maybe.
I'm sure I've heard the lore.
So yeah, me and Zach have always done a last minute kind of. Well, I'll say this. It should have won. The first year that it happened, it should have
I've
won.
heard some of his like standalone stories, unless you were involved in them. But.
Yeah, so the first time he had the two hay bales, right?
Yeah, I
the
heard
two
about
like
this one.
little, and then we put like a stick in between it, and it was like this is like a maze, right? And that's what we told kids. The one that he did behind, I wasn't able to make it to this one. He did a he acted like his truck was stranded, and so he just had the hood up and was just acting like he needed like he needed a jump.
Oh my goodness.
And so everybody else had like a decorated trunk, like a trunk, and he just had his hood up, asking for a jump. The one year that was really good, we just had a bunch of trash in the trunk of his car, of his truck, and we just had the whole time. It was on repeat. It was What you gonna do with all that junk, all that junk inside your trunk?
Y'all are ridiculous.
And it just had, I looped it to where it cut right there. So it just looped the whole night. And Kim I mean, she got frustrated at some point. It was just like, turn it off. Because it was literally just so annoying. It was, what you gonna do with all that junk inside your trunk? And kids would come up and they were so confused. Like they would look at us and hear the words and then see the trash and then be like, what? And then parents are just dying, right? But then they're just
trash. Like
there was candy. I'm sure some trash made it to some bags. No, it was candy. We were giving out candy, but yeah, that's the best part is that the parents figure it out, but the kids just get really mad at you. Like they just look at you like, dude, why did you do this to me?
I feel like that's every Sunday. Kids look at me like that. Like,
you're used to that vibe?
Like, who are you? Why are you so like exciting and why are you so all up in my face about,
right?
Kids Point.
Yeah.
Or Jesus. Or
yeah, it's a good place to be with kids to know that that you're having fun with them, but they're questioning what you're doing.
Why are you yelling? It's 8:30 in the morning.
Right, but it's like I'm excited to be here with you.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Yeah. So I texted Zach yesterday and I told him, hey man, we're about a week out before we should start thinking about what we're going to do for the trunk. Because we're not really allowed to put plans together until a couple days before. So I guess next podcast we can see if we're a little bit closer to coming up with an idea for trunk or treat. Yeah. I'm excited though. It's going to be a good one this year.
Amazing.
It's going to be a good one. I have a feeling it is. Aside from that, going into the fall season, Thanksgiving is next month. Out of the, there's always the controversy, and it really decides who somebody is. Out of the October, November, December, it's like which one do you reside with the most? So I'd love to dive into that. Are you a Thanksgiving, I love my meals guy? Are you a Christmas is like the joy, the season, or are you like a trunk or treat Halloween type of like this is fun?
So I don't dress up unless Christy makes me. So I'm definitely not a Halloween person or trunk or treat. Sorry, we don't say Halloween.
I say Halloween, but
and then Thanksgiving it's just like it's food,
Okay, so you're like a Christmas.
So Christmas, but I'm not Christmas because of gifts. I'm Christmas because I usually see all of my family in Christmas. I'm a big family guy.
But are you like a big like Christmas, like a Kris Kringle, like he's a like the season kind of brings something out of you?
No, Christy is. She's the Christmas tree up day after Thanksgiving person.
Yeah, dude.
But I'm more like, all right, it's cool. It's Christmas because I'm gonna get to see people I haven't seen in a very long time. So, they all have their place, but definitely, I'm not the listening to Christmas music on my way to work and.
Yeah, I'll be honest. My mom is that like she's probably putting up Christmas lights right now as we're shooting this. She loves Christmas, and so I definitely tap into that a little bit. I feel like it's kind of in my blood, and so sometimes I'll find myself tossing on that playlist and being like. Looking up the counter, seeing this kind of red and green, it makes me feel a little bit, and it's like, okay, we're almost.
I don't get that. You can only play I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas so many times.
Yeah, but there's just how like there's the whole psychology of if you smile, you're more likely to be happy. Like if you're ever really sad, it goes a long way to just start smiling. You might look a little insane, but it goes a long way.
I've gotten that before.
Right.
I just smile. And
to me, Christmas music follows the same kind of same philosophy. Where if you just put on Christmas music sometimes, that does so much in just getting you to that mood of like, I'm joyful.
Not me.
For me, it does.
I'm good. I'm glad for you.
So if I get me a little peppermint mocha, and a little bit of a pine candle and some Christmas tunes going, it goes a long way in just making my day substantially more exciting. But if I were to really dig deep and choose one, it'd be really close for Thanksgiving for me. I love Thanksgiving. I'm a big food guy. I'm a big family time guy. But yeah, Christmas would probably be at the top. Speaking of Christmas though, do you go for like, is right now times that you'd be looking for gifts? Do you not even start until a week before Christmas? Where do you land in there?
I think as I get older, I think I start to think about it more ahead of time.
Yeah.
Because there's just so many people to shop for.
Mm-hmm.
I think as far as a budget goes, yes, it puts me at more ease when I do it early.
Yeah.
If I wait till last minute, I can't even enjoy the Christmas season because I'm thinking about how many gifts I have to buy for people because people need gifts. And so
That's fair.
So I'm you just swipe all December 23rd and 4th, trying to get everything done if you're not careful. And
Yeah.
then it's like you can't even enjoy going out to eat with people or going to the, wherever to shop. You can't even, like, you get a $25 gift card for Christmas, but you can't even use it because you ain't got no money to spend with your gift card,
Yeah.
So I'm trying to be more proactive. So
you feel like
budget is
gradually
set.
over the years you've gone from December 23rd to maybe the 15th to like the 8th,
I'd
and
love to
now
get
you're closer to
November
like
now.
okay. So you're like this year you'll probably hit like December 4th or something like that. But next year
Probably I
you're
would hate
aiming for
that.
November 29th or something.
Yeah,
Right.
I would hate if I didn't catch November this year, but if December 4th would be all right.
Yeah. I've experienced both extremes intentionally. Like last year, I was very proactive. Like early November, I was getting
It's
gifts.
impressive.
Yeah, and it was just because I was really excited about it. But I find, so there's pros and cons to both, right? And I'm not trying to get too deep about this, but there are pros and cons to both.
Buy a gift for someone that you're no longer affiliated with.
Well, no, the issue is that if you buy too early, at least for me, if I buy too early, then there's the continual, like, as I'm shopping for someone else, I'll find another thing.
That's dangerous.
And then it becomes like I didn't realize that I already had this person so covered to where now I'm out December 20th and I was like, oh, I should get this for them too because they would love it. And then I'm like, I got way too much, Whereas, and there's anxieties on both ends, There's the anxiety of dude, it's December 24th and I still have like 8 people to get.
Yeah.
But then there's the anxiety of, especially if you're living in a house. So for me, I had everybody living in the house together. You buy too early, you're risking the cover being blown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're risking the snoops. You're risking
I always found the gifts.
the late night sneakies.
I was always finding
You
them.
found them.
Oh, always.
Yeah, I looked for them often. When I was a kid, I loved it. I had the technique down. The whole, get the tape off just right at the corner, and then make sure that if it chips any paint, then you know what I mean. You got to touch it up, all that stuff. Yeah.
What's the gift you want this year?
This year, man, that's a good question. This year, I know this is so basic. I told Sam this last week. I told him, and I've been talking about it the whole podcast, but I need candles. Candles are the easiest thing to get for Christmas, and so I feel like people usually shy away. Some people shy away because it's like, this is basic, but I'm leaning towards the like, no, please tap into that, Yeah.
Candles.
What about you, bro?
I've been getting to a grilling kick recently.
Yeah, that's right. You have.
And so I would love to get like a huge cast iron skillet.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And be able to start grilling, like some other stuff. Cause I've been burning like some stuff that probably shouldn't go on the grill.
Right.
I feel like a skillet would help me.
Yeah.
And gives it a cool vibe too.
Yeah.
And I could throw it like on a fire if I went like camping or something like
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
cast iron skillet, maybe a manly candle, and anything golf. So there you go, Christy.
That's a good list. That's a solid list.
Anything golf,
Looking-
cast iron skillet,
Yeah, that's a really good list,
manly
man.
candle.
Looking back
too
over the
crazy.
years, what was your like most memorable Christmas list though?
Ooh.
I remember I had one. I asked for a couple games. I was really into Yu-Gi-Oh! Like when I was like 11. And so I asked for like a booster box a couple games, and I don't remember. I think it might have been Beyblades.
Beyblades are
Yeah, those are lit. So that was probably my most memorable list. You feel like you have one?
I mean, one year it was like a PlayStation 2 and Guitar Hero.
Mm-hmm. Guitar Hero.
One time, it was like baseball stuff, like a bat and glove, but there was never really. Yeah, I never really had like crazy items. It was just I wanted what everybody else had. So like, so like my parents would get me this great gift, and somebody else would like get, my cousin would get like Rock Band,
right?
And I'd be like, Dad, I want Rock Band.
Yeah, I wanted Rock Band.
Yeah.
Were you the one that would like, let's go to the store and return, or were you like, I'll just deal with it?
Now, I've had a bad streak of returning things.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But only I had to get the clearance of whoever got me the gift, for the most part.
Yeah.
But I never really returned too much, and so it was. My family's more like, what do you want, and we'll go pick it out and put it under the tree kind of thing. Yeah,
my family's the opposite of that. My family is like, I'll get you what I might enjoy. Well, I'm thinking of specific family members here. Some of them are like, just tell me what you want. So I feel like I experienced both ends of that for sure. Going into this next year, right? I know we're only in October, and so we're not even at the place where we can really be thinking about, like, New Year's resolutions, sacred season prayers. I know we should probably, come with it a little bit, and get through October, November.
Para ahí.
Yeah, para ahí. But thinking about it, thinking about things looking forward. What is one thing that you looking forward are praying for intentionally going into this new season of the church?
Praying for it intentionally.
Yeah, like what is what is one thing that you are kind of looking at and going like, I know for sure, like, this is something that I would love to see God do, or that I'm really believing for Him to do inside of this new season, inside of this new space for the ministry.
For my personal ministry, I think I just want to grow more. I've got some options in front of me as far as like, as far as knowledge goes. I would love to see that growth happen in my life. I'd love to see some increase as far as like my capacity to lead, because I'm nowhere near where I want to be. So as far as ministry goes, those are a couple things like for my personal ministry. As far as like things that I oversee and my teams that I work with, I would love to, because my teams are completely new. I would love to see us I would love to see some growth and cohesiveness as far as like our systems that we have in place, and I'd love to see some expansion take place. And I work a little bit with campus ministry, and I would love to see us, even as we're expanding our one campus, to see God give us opportunity to grow in Horry County. So those are a few areas I'm looking at. And, with me and Christy, as far as, us, she's midway through the year. Hopefully she comes on staff, and, and we still have our sacred season prayer for a baby. And, so there's so much different layers and aspects of that question. It's a big question.
Yeah. It's exciting stuff, though. That's all very, 2022, I think it's going to be a big year.
Bonkers.
It's going to be a huge year. So much that we can't really imagine, have no clue what the ups and downs are going to be, what the roller coaster is going to be like. Just ready to hop on the ride, buckle up and put the goggles on.
Could you hear that burp?
Yeah, a little bit.
What a serious moment.
I'm probably oh, you knew which one it was.
No,
you just tapped the random one. What about this one right here? Okay.
Hey.
So yeah, I'm probably praying for and believing a lot of stuff for the youth, believing that there's a lot of things that are about to be unlocked. You know, we're going back to Winterfest. Man, I'm pumped. I feel like I'm about to pop because I'm so excited for Winterfest. I've been doing a lot of like looking back at old Facebook pictures and Winterfest memories and things like that. And so a lot of that's kind of surfacing inside of me and the team. We've been talking about it a lot, all of us. And so, you know, Winterfest is going to be one of those things that we talked about it in youth the other week, but it's like Winterfest was always a marker that a season is changing. And so it was like knowing that your life is going to look different coming out of it. And also knowing that the youth was going to be at a place that we were just close, like the intimacy was on a different level. Like the family dynamic was just like to a different place that we weren't at before. So knowing all of those things and knowing all of the things that are already taking place, that are already being set in motion right now, it's kind of just like I know God's about to outdo himself inside of the youth. And so that's super exciting. I think for the ministry is just for the culture to continue in growing in things that we already, you know, have kind of like a marker of who we are. Like for us to be more loving and for us to be more giving, like for those things to continue to be in a direction of growth, you know, like that's going to be super exciting to see develop, to see people come on. I think I'm really excited for the amount of like new friendships and people that come in, you know, new relationships that develop. That's going to be cool, man. I feel like it's going to be a lot of different people that come in. A lot of those new stories that we start to see take place. Like it's going to be already like you think back on the past year, if you haven't been to this church in a year, there's a lot of new faces.
It's incredible.
Like a whole lot of new faces and a lot of incredible people, like a lot of really, really cool people. So imagining that like in the next few months too, like
exponential.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of cool people, man.
Increase.
It's going to be really cool to get to know a bunch of new people. Yeah. So I'm excited for all that. And that's what I'm kind of looking forward to. Big year ahead of us, but it's still fall and we got to get through trunk or treat. So
we got to get there.
Next week, I'm curious to see what Pastor's going to be for trunk or treat.
Does he dress up?
I feel like I remember him dressing up.
I don't remember him dressing up. Well, we didn't do it last year.
Maybe I'm thinking of when Maddie dressed up as him. That was a funny one. That was a good one. So I'll be interested to see what the Barfield, you know, Pastor Maddie, Pastor Jamie is going to be. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, loved hanging out with you guys for the little PSJK PPC podcast.
Yeah.
We'll catch you guys next week. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you point over there, so if you point right there, I think we can have a little video pop up right there of a previous podcast.
It really just magically does that?
Yeah, it'll pop up right there when you point.
Kidding.
No, straight up, bro.
Nah.
And then right here in my face or in this region right here,
it's like Disney
there'll be something else for you to click. And then if you press right in the center, you can subscribe for PPC Podcast.
You're kidding.
Swear, bro. It's gonna look good. It's gonna be cool. Yeah. So if you just go like boom right here, like that, boom right there, all of it shows up. Well, it was already there.
You're
but
lying.
Yeah, bro. So like, comment, subscribe, make sure to turn the notifications on, and catch us next week. Love you guys.
See ya.